Welcome to the NFL Rumors podcast today. Glad to be with you again for another great day of giving you some NFL rumors and news. Looking at the biggest news over the last couple days, we're looking at Micah Parsons is really not got any closer on his contract in the last couple weeks, but the Brian Schottenheimer's been very happy with him showing up for camp, so very happy there that Micah's showing up for camp and doing what he needs to do there. So I think that is really good news there for the Cowboys with Micah Parsons. Some other things that we got going on. Looking at Kevin Stefanski says Shedeur Sanders is working really hard, doing it. He likes everything they are about Shedeur. So good news there for the Browns and Shedeur Sanders. Brock Purdy said Brock Purdy said he took less money to make it easier for the 49ers to surround him with a good team. Brock got a good contract, but he's talking about the yearly things and what they did with the contract where they can work around it each season. So I think that's good news there for the Niners. Um, Aaron Rodgers, another hint that he made today, that if he'd ever play, he was asked if he'd ever play for the Bears. He said no, but I believe they're a team that might play in Chicago on the road this year. So, putting some hints out there, Aaron is. So we got some more Aaron Rodgers news just a little bit later in the show, but definitely Aaron Rodgers definitely still making news. Maxx Crosby, the Raiders, said he's 100% healthy and looking to have a big season. So great news for the Raiders there. Um, Looking at Keenan Allen, the best fits for Keenan Allen's been named the Chargers and the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals will be a great fit for Keenan to work with Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that would really be good for Kyler Murray. I think that would be the best scenario for both parties, in my opinion. Looking at also Will Levis rumors that during the draft he was linked to the Rams and Jaguars. So the Rams definitely would have a little bit of known of Will Levis with some of the people on the staff working in Kentucky, and the Jaguars the same as their head coach with Will Levis in Kentucky. So makes sense on those links for Will Levis. The Lions are going to work with Aidan Hutchinson this off season to get him an extension, and he's expected to be a top three highest paid player in the league. So great news there for Aidan and the Lions. The Giants, Ricky Jackson Dart, spoke about how intense the meetings are with Brian DeBall. He said you better be prepared going in a meeting with Brian because it's intense. If you're not prepared, don't step into that meeting. You're going to get grilled. So just getting everything ready, holding his rookies to a high accountability and players is Brian DeBall. So Jackson Dart letting people know that they better be ready to talk to Mr. DeBall. Talking about Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur, could have made in the NIL money about 10 million. He's going to average about 1.2 million this season. So, definitely taking a pay cut with all the money that he was making on the NIL. Looking at Christian Wilkins of the Raiders, they don't think that they'll get him until after August from the fracture he has. So it'll be at least August for Christian Wilkins to get some reps there on the field. Back to news with Saquon Barkley. He calls the effort to ban the tush push lame and soft, coming from teams that had to play the Eagles on a regular basis. I just think it comes back to that same point we made is you just got to be able to stop it. You got to study it, stop it. Talk to a great person in the space. He said he played rugby, and the biggest thing that when you're looking at that is getting low. So you really have to have the defense to get low to stop that. So some interesting takes there. Odell Beckham Jr. with big news today that he could possibly retire. Not many teams are interested in him or none, and he could be somebody that we see retire after 10 seasons. Odell had a great career. He's known for these great catches. I mean, superior talent. The second half of the career had a lot of injuries, so really had that for Odell. And if he wants to keep playing, much obliged to him. I hope he lands with a good team. Eagles' Nakobe Dean is using ballet to rehab a torn patellar tendon he suffered in the wild card round. This Georgia standout definitely got a really high ceiling still, so Nakobe Dean is trying to work in a different way to come back to the field. Cooper Cup, everybody around him saying he's in the best shape of his career. And, looking for a big season for Cooper Cup in Seattle. So I'm very excited to watch and see what happens with Cooper. So now we're going to move on to some more Aaron Rodgers news. Aaron Rodgers is waiting on the Vikings, says ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Waiting on the Vikings, so could that be a situation where the Vikings do come and give him an offer? This is the team he wants to play for. So I have to think the Steelers are feeling kind of rough on that, right? On the being destroyed a little bit with that. So it'll be interesting to see if the Steelers keep on the Rodgers plan, they go with who they got, or they look at, if they look at, bringing back Rodgers, But the Vikings have said earlier they want to go with McCarthy. So we'll have to see what happens there, but seems Aaron Rodgers' preference is the Vikings. So, looking at rumors with the Saints, Spencer Rattler's been very impressive in OTAs as he works to try to land that starting job. So, Rattler, a lot of people was very high on him last season. So, I think they're hoping he can really grow in that second year. And they feel Rattler's taking a high ceiling, and the New Orleans front office really likes him. So, we'll have to see if Spencer Rattler can land that job. Travis Hunter got married today to his bride. I think she was 33. I might be mistaken, a little bit older than Travis, but age is just a number for sure. And Travis Hunter got married as he looks for a big first season in Jacksonville. Caleb Williams, Cam Newton, with some more things to say about Caleb. Um, he's drawing criticism from Cam about his check down percentage being at 7.1, the worst in the NFL. And Cam says he agreed with Bengals Boomer Esiason that Caleb should just shut up, play football, quit with the talk about wanting to go to another team with the draft, and just kind of, take it in and play the football with Ben Johnson. So seems like a little heated discussion there. Um, and that is some very interesting news there. And to kind of end things, Geno Smith and Pete Carroll's really excited to be playing together this year. Pete said he's one of the hardest workers he's ever had, and he's happy to be with them at the Raiders. I mean, they got Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, some good talent there. I think the Raiders could use a wide receiver, another one, but overall, it's a really good talent. Well, guys, that's it for today. But we want to thank you for tuning in. And as always, the videos has been real successful as we came back. So make sure you check those out. We really, really appreciate you tuning in. We make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're not following us on Twitter and Instagram, make sure you do so. We really appreciate it. We couldn't do it without you. And we hope you have a blessed day and a happy Memorial Day from all your friends here at NFL Rumors. Later, guys.